Yo, what is up, you sexy ass motherfuckers? Welcome back to yet another Rome 2 Total War Siege battle. This one was sent in by a viewer of the channel. His name is Darkspawn. Much love, brother. Thank you so much for sending in this epic replay. We've actually already watched it live on twitch.tv/CAPN4IS, and I've already kind of provided a live commentary over it. And let me tell you, this battle is truly incredible. I mean, definitely one for the history books. So make sure you guys sit back, relax, grab yourself something to drink, something to eat, go jerk off a quick one, call your grandmother and tell her that you love her, preferably not while you're jerking off a quick one. Do whatever you guys got to do, and let's get into it, guys. If at any point during this battle you truly enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button, and or if you're feeling extra generous, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. We are trying to reach 300 subs. I would love you guys forever if we can reach that, let's say by the end of February. But let's go ahead and look at the factions here. So on the attacking side, we've got Bactria. Bactria's going to go ahead and be bringing some Hillmen, Thorax Swordsmen, Eastern Spearmen. Do we have Theros Spears? Of course. We got the good old Theros Spears. A Bactrian Royal Cavalry General. In the last Total War League video, we definitely saw what they can do. If you guys have not seen the previous videos that we posted the other day and the day before that, make sure you guys check them out because they were incredible. We're doing some coverage on some of the Total War League battles as well as some streaming coverage on them as well. So if you guys are interested in seeing that live, again, make sure to check out my Twitch channel. It's going to be down in the description below. Looking at the other factions here, we've got Arverni going hard, going ham, pushing up as quickly as possible. We've got some hidden Gallic hunters, Celtic warriors, chosen swordsmen, and you know we've got an Oathsworn unit somewhere in here. There we go, Oathsworn right there as well as some Levy Freemen trying to push up some of the artillery, some of the towers, and prepare for the wall engagement. Last but certainly not least, on the attacking side, we've got the Seleucids with some Thorax swordsmen. Look at these guys. They're beautiful. Their armor is so shiny, so gorgeous. Their shields are really cool as well. And look at this guy holding this, like, stick of destiny with the circle on it. Okay, you can't see it as well now, but still really cool as well. Of course, he's got a lot of Thorax swordsmen, some Theros spears, Syrian heavy archers, and it looks like we've actually got some chariots as well, which is really cool to see. Chariots, armored chariots. You guys know how much I love me some chariots too. Let's hope they can get some good kills in this one, and some Agama cavalry, a very elite Seleucid cavalry as well. Look at those masks. If you saw those, you can't tell me that you wouldn't be absolutely terrified, because I know that I certainly would as well. So let's go ahead and look over at the defenders composition here. We've got Tylus, Swaby, and Carthage. We've got Darkspawn playing as Swaby in this battle. Looking at what we can see from Tylus so far, we got some Celtic warriors, tribal warriors, Gallo-Thracian infantry, and I'm sure he's got some slingers somewhere. Showing us so far, we've got some mercenary Gallic warriors. A lot of mercenary Gallic warriors here holding the front line. All of these troops are ready to lay down their arms in order to defend either this settlement that their families live in, that their families reside in, that they do not want to wish their families to meet a gruesome fate from these attacking forces, that or they're here helping their ally trying to settle a debt that they perhaps owe from a previous endeavor. And then of course Swaby over here, we've got the lone German ballista man strutting his stuff, walking down the middle of the road, not a care in the world, ready to face the entire attacking force by himself. He is just having a heyday. This guy is incredible. And look at his short sword. Oh, we're gonna have to pay attention to this guy in this battle too, with his ponytail and his short sword. It's just amazing. Love to see it. Looks like we do have some breaches inside of the wall as of right now. We've got a tortoise that broke a hole in the corner of this wall. We've got some Levy Freemen moved right up to these archer towers. Both towers moved up, just trying to stop them from being able to fire into their troops. A cool little tactic, but I mean, it looks like it stops. Yeah, so it looks like it stops the fire from the front of the tower. But I mean, you're still going to take a lot of fire from both the sides and the backs of the tower as well. But a neat little trick. It looks like we've got some chosen swordsmen being the first ones to charge inside of the city, potentially. I thought they were charging in right then and there. There we go. Coming up the hill, we've got the brave Celtic warriors from Tylus standing strong, ready to be able to meet their opponents face to face. Chosen swordsman taking a ton of javelin fire, but still unharmed, still unhindered. But we've also got a lot of javelin fire coming in from the side, killing some friendly units. Getting a little bit of friendly fire on here, but still getting some kills on the sides of these chosen swordsmen as well. Great positioning from the defending forces here. Over here, we've got Bactria quickly moving in some Bactrian Hillmen. Uh, hold that thought, guys. We've got the artillerymen scaring off. Oh, no, the Bactrian Hillmen are going in, going in. It looks like they're completely ignoring this artilleryman, though. He's just kind of going off. I think he's got his target set, his sights set on his newest target, the towers that had taken down his brothers in arms, the rest of the crew that he had been working with. He wants his revenge, so he's just gonna strut over valiantly. Bactria, too scared to even fight this lone hunk of a man, this amazing, amazing man, and he is gonna go ahead and go and try to face these towers, face these men by himself, and hopefully burn them down. Looks like even the towers are afraid of him, shooting an arrow or two. We've got a couple of arrows, one right there that missed him, and another one that's right there that missed him as well. Attempting to fire at him. It looks like this arrow tower sees this madman charging against his forces, and he can only assume that he has been sent by the gods themselves to punish those who wish to take such a beautiful settlement, such a beautiful contribution towards their image. Over here, looking back inside of the city, we've got Club Levy holding valiantly against the Bactrian Hillmen, trying to get as many kills as possible and keep them from being able to push further into the city. Over here, we've got some Celtic warriors breaking from Tylus, another unit of semi-fresh Celtic warriors fighting against a Celtic warrior unit from Arverni, but Bactria is going to quickly send in some Hillmen to be able to provide some relief against the Celtic warriors and try and weaken the Tylus Celtic warriors for them as well. Over here, we've got a unit of Celtic warriors fighting side by side with some elite chosen swordsmen with 24 kills so far, just trying to be able to break through this Celtic warrior force and break into the city here as well. Oh, we got the Mad Lad charging in himself. He is fighting against these troops. He does not care. He's gonna... Oh, that was freaking brutal. He was gonna go ahead and try to fight the Bactrian Hillman all by himself, but the one guy was just like, nope, swing the axe, and he is gone. Poor bastard, poor bastard. At least he tried. He definitely had the courage, or balls. He had a set of testicles on him, I'll tell you that much. Holy smokes. Gotta get a little bit of coffee in my system as well. Looking over at this side, we've got late Libyan hoplites fighting against some hillmen and some reinforcing thorax swordsmen. Hoplites holding valiantly, doing what they have to do, or doing what they were meant to do, and that is holding the line and allowing the troops behind them or beside them to be able to throw their volleys, throw their javelins, shoot their arrows, throw their rocks, whatever it might be, into their opponents. Beautiful to see. We've still got artillery firing into the city as well. I'm trying to see where they're firing at. It looks like we've got some damage over on these Thracian warriors. Oh, there we go. Yep. The mercenary Thracian Peltas at 85 out of 120 already being fired at from this one artillery piece with 16 kills thus far. And from the other artillery piece too. Holy smokes, that was a beautiful shot from that piece into one singular unit. Losing what, 15 men on those Peltas? Yeah, they got to be careful. They want to be able to make sure that these Peltas are able to use all of their ammo before they break. And artillery fire is certainly not going to help them do so. Very, very lucky on the defenders with that volley. That volley just barely missed that lone man in the back, slowly disappearing using a magical potion given to him by a witch. disappearing over there, so that way the artillery can no longer see him. Levy Freeman firing into the backs. Actually, no, they're just capturing this point here. But it looks like the Celtic Warriors and Chosen Sword combination has finally broken through this area. They have taken this courtyard. Seleucid and Arverni quickly moving in to be able to ensure that the courtyard stays secure, with Tylus holding valiantly with some Gallo Thracian infantry and some depleted Celtic warriors as well. So just trying to hold this line against their opponents. We've got some archers set up on the side and yeah, basically on their side here, their front side and their side, firing into these troops, just weakening them. But we've also got some valiant chosen swordsman and Celtic warrior combinations coming in and just doing a number on these guys, as well as javelins coming in. These guys are getting absolutely bombarded by ranged fire. If you're rooting for the defenders, this is not something that you want to see. These guys are getting torn up from afar and not able to get as many kills, but they still have 69 giggity. 69 kills for a unit of Celtic Warriors as well is not bad. But they are going to go ahead and fall back and try to get into a better position, so that way they're not just getting completely massacred. We've got some Bloodsworn over here with a chevron added onto them that have not yet seen any fighting, facing off against some Thorax Swordsmen. The Thorax Swordsmen aren't quite ready to engage in this battle yet, so they're going to go ahead and fall back, regroup with their brothers in arms, another unit of Thorax Swordsmen, and now they're going to go ahead and charge in. Now that they have the numbers, now that they have extra javelins, now that they have fresh men, they're going to go ahead and charge into these Bloodsworn and again do as much damage as possible. Look at these axes, dude. They're basically just like farmers, the Bloodsworn are. They've got the clubs of the club levies, so that means they have good luck. You know, they've got their hammers that they use. The blacksmiths got their hammers that they use. The woodchoppers got the axes that they use in order to build their homes. I mean, they want to spill the blood of their enemies, not only with the armor fastened by tools, but with the tools that was used to be able to make that armor and the weapons as well. Thorax Swordsman getting a great charge into these Bloodsworn, but the Bloodsworn holding valiantly against these troops. Over here, we do have the Celtic Warriors and the Gallo Thracian infantry trying to hold against the Celtic Warriors. Sorry about that, guys. The Celtic Warriors of Arverni, but they are slowly but surely collapsing against the weight of the range capabilities of the attacking troops, as well as just the bodies of the attacking troops that they're sending into here. I mean, you're just completely outnumbered. You are within your home. You're outnumbered, outskilled, outgeared. No chance of winning this fight. You are not going to continue with that. You are going to attempt to run away, but then you run into another unit of Celtic Warriors and hope that they somehow miss you. But now we've got a unit of Thracian warriors charging into the fray, trying to get some kills against these Celtic warriors as well, with 129 kills thus far with 56 men remaining. These Thracian warriors are slowly but surely beginning to crumble, collapse, and fall. But look at those capes. I mean, they brought their blankets from home. They thought they were going to a slumber party. They brought their lucky swords so that way maybe they could do some, like, you know, practice sword fighting or anything else. And all of a sudden, they just got thrown into a war. These poor guys, and their hats are just incredible. I mean, look at this guy. He's got, like, a nightcap on, too. Like, they were ready for a slumber party. Does it look that comfortable? Probably not. I mean, trying to sleep with a metal hat usually used for protection against somebody trying to bash your skull in, usually probably wouldn't be too comfortable, but these guys were ready. They sleep in their armor. They sleep with heavy shit on their heads. They're going to go ahead and retreat, but we've got a couple of units. We've got one unit of Club Levy moving in. Club Levy is definitely one of my favorite units in this game. I mean, they are like unarmored. They're in with a bunch of makeshift tools, and just again, they're slumber caps, and they're just wreak havoc on enemy forces or on anyone that dares to oppose them. I mean, they can just get so much damage in as well. But these guys are fighting against some very elite units, two units of chosen swordsmen. And the round shield swordsman, unarmored, almost naked, fighting against a very elite unit of two elite units of chosen swordsmen with some additional units not too far behind, but just trying to hold the line for as long as possible, since they do have some troops over here. Some round shield swordsmen holding valiantly against Bactria, trying not to allow Bactria to be able to enter the walls quite yet. We've got another unit of Bloodsworn. Swaby really going in on this battle. Another unit of Bloodsworn charging in, getting ready, charging into this depleted unit of Thorax Swordsmen, hoping to break them quickly, so that way they can roll some heads, chop some bodies, and get rid of the attacking scum that wish to invade their land. Beautiful to see. The Bloodsworn are going to be able to get some good kills against this depleted unit here. It looks like we do have some reinforcements, some chosen swordsmen potentially going in to be able to help their Bactrian allies. Get a good little flanky-panky in here on these Bloodsworn, these light melee infantry. And are the Bloodsworn going to retreat? No, they are not afraid at all. They're going to go ahead and keep fighting, charge into the next unit of Thorax swordsmen. They see people coming from behind them. They do not care. They wish to fight for their lives, for their settlement, for their homes. We do have Bactria sending over a unit of mercenary Syrian archers over here as well, in order to be able to support their troops, because they have some Bactrian hillmen breaking here, but to be able to support their troops. One unit of archers against a non-armored unit is always good to see if you're rooting for the attackers, just because these Club Levy fall so quickly. They are a very cheap unit, so if you shoot at them with any sort of ranged or anything, they do not have the armor to sustain any sort of combat against range troops, so they are going to fall relatively quickly as well. And so are the Bloodsworn. I mean, at least the Club Levy have, you know, their small little capes and, you know, some togas and tunics, togas, some tunics and such. The Blood, I mean, the Round Shield Swordsmen are coming in here completely shirtless, probably. I mean, I don't know, it doesn't look, it looks maybe a little bit chilly because you've got the fog and everything going around, but it shouldn't be too terribly cold. But I'm also not here, so I don't know. But yeah, these Round Shield Swordsmen are fighting valiantly against these Thorax Swords as well. These guys, these Bloodsworn over here, having fought as much as they can, they are beginning to break because they are completely surrounded by two more elite troops than them, and they are going to go ahead and use their mass weight to try and push through Bactria, and try to move outside of the city walls in order to escape and hopefully live to fight another day. Over here, we've got Carthage moving in some archers along this pathway. We've got Tylus holding with some tribal warriors on this little choke point as well. Arverni preparing to be able to charge in and do some damage against their opponents. We've got wait a second, Carthage is on the defending side. I think I said Carthage was preparing to attack, but Carthage over here holding this gate, allowing the archer towers to be able to do as much damage as possible. The late leaving hoplites that we had previously seen are over here still with 84 men left, ready to be able to hold the wall for as long as possible. I'm not quite sure if these guys are like breaking or why these guys are fighting, what's going on here, but it's a pretty good distraction as well. Now we got the Thorax Swordsman getting a little bit of a volley, getting some ammo into these hoplites. If you want to break hoplites, a good way to be able to do it is ranged fire as well. They are meant to hold for a long time against melee. They may or may not get a ton of kills with it, unless they're Spartans, then they'll get so many kills. But they will hold for a very long time if you just fight them in prolonged melee as well. So great move by the Seleucids, just trying to use their ammo to weaken these hoplites enough so that way whenever they charge in, it'll just automatically break them as well. And also going up onto the wall with a unit of Thorax Swordsmen in order to fight this unit of mercenaries. 2 units of mercenary Samnite warriors as well. Samnite warriors are going to go ahead and retreat because they see archers up here. They don't want to get shot on the sides or on the flank by the archers while they're fighting valiantly against these Thorax Swordsmen. So they are going to go ahead and fall back to a slightly better position and then try to fight them there, but losing the towers in the process as well. Over here, we've got a mass retreats. I mean, we've got, oh my goodness, we've got the mercenary Scrutari cavalry going in, charging into these chosen swords, trying to keep them from being able to charge into these this fresh unit of mercenary Samnite warriors. We've got our Arverni quick on their tail, charging in with all of their troops, just trying to chase down as many troops as they possibly can, and do as much damage as they possibly can as well. But yes, it looks like they are going to completely abandon the middle of the settlement and move to a more strategic position on these stairs, on these short pathways, wherever they might be able to go, which isn't a bad move. isn't a bad move at all, because they can get some height advantages here. It's going to be more compact, easier to hold, so on and so forth. So it's going to be a very interesting battle indeed. Over here, we do have that unit of hoplites beginning to break. Do we still have 2 units of mercenary samurai? Oh, no, we've got 1 unit of mercenary Gallic warriors holding valiantly. I'm trying to see. It looks like the Samnite warriors are all running this way with the cav close behind, just kind of guarding their flank and ensuring that they can get back as easily as possible. We've also got another unit of mercenary Iberian swordsmen over here by Carthage, quickly retreating. But yeah, it looks like they are quickly trying to get the hell out of dodge. Just trying to fall back as quickly as they possibly can and get to a better position, so that way they have a better chance at holding this settlement. We've got some depleted units of chosen swordsmen by Arverni, one with 221 kills, one with 155, charging in. These Samurai warriors sadly are showing their flank. They are like, all right, no, cool guys don't watch at enemy charging units. All right, we got this in the bag. So the enemies are going to get a good charge on these guys as well. It looks like luckily these Samnite warriors were lucky and they weren't able to actually get that volley off. They kind of glitched a little bit, but they still are going to get flanking charged by these chosen swordsmen and take a good deal of losses for just one initial charge. The chosen swordsmen are going to go ahead and chase the Samnite warriors as they're trying to retreat, because if they're trying to retreat, they're going to take losses, especially if they continue to chase them. But yeah, the Samnite warriors are going to try to do whatever they can to be able to get out of dodge, but they are actually going to turn around and fight against these depleted units of chosen swordsmen. Mercenary Samurai warriors having already taken a ton of losses with 122 men left. I mean, whenever they were charged, they had 160 men. So, I mean, they are taking a lot of losses from these depleted chosen swordsmen. I mean, really, really getting your money's worth. Even if a unit only has 2 men left, as long as they're not breaking, those 2 men can still, get kills. I mean, the goal is always to double, if not triple, your kills with any one unit. So, you're just trying to get as many kills as you possibly can. But we do have a unit of fresh club levy coming in to be able to defend what's left of these mercenary Samnite warriors. 103 men left to be able to stop the advance of these chosen swordsmen and hopefully take them out. Because they are depleted, the club levy do have a chance to be able to take them out as well. So they're going to go ahead and go in, fight with their mix-mashed set of weaponry and shields and clothing, and just try and wipe out the chosen swordsmen. They saw that their brothers in arms, their allies that have chosen to come and support their cause, they saw them being slaughtered from behind by the enemy forces, and they wanted to come in and help and stop that massacre before too much could happen as well. But right now it looks like we've just got a lot of forces retreating back to the center area. A great place to be able to defend. We've got some choke points here, choke point here, and a lot of different areas they can go to. We've got archers answering the call, firing into these thorax swordsmen. We've got some more archers from the Seleucids quickly moving up. But yeah, getting some great top-down fire and flanking fire on these thorax swordsmen and getting a lot of kills on these guys as well. Great positioning of those archers. That hill can definitely get you some great kills along this road on a lot of the troops that come along this road too. Thorax swordsman just breaking under the sheer weight of arrow fire that it's going into them. Hopefully they'll stop firing. There we go. They'll stop firing their arrows here pretty quickly. And the archers are going to go ahead and disappear. The Cimbri bowwomen are back. They're showing themselves. They do not care. So the Cimbri bowwomen are going to go ahead and prepare to shoot into their opponent's archers, into the attacking archers. They're going to go ahead and get one volley off so far. And it looks like, yep, yeah, so now they're going to start taking a little bit of damage because they are outclassed here. These Syrian heavy archers are a very elite unit of archers, heavily armed, but more importantly, very accurate in their fire, with some very deadly arrows. I mean, I don't know who crafted these arrows, but he or she are most definitely master craftsmen at the very least. But yep, we've got the Cretan archers from Carthage firing into the flanks of these archers as they retreat, supporting their Cimbri bowwomen in arms, and just trying to keep these archers from being able to fire onto them as well. These archers having, this unit specifically having 60 kills thus far. I love coffee. If you guys have been watching my content for a while, you guys will understand that I adore coffee. I mean, coffee is one of the greatest things ever invented by mankind. Love it to death. So good. Club Levy's still fighting valiantly against now a fresh unit or semi-fresh unit of chosen swordsmen, but they are now breaking, sadly. They held for as long as they could. They allowed their allies to be able to fall back. They allowed their allies to be able to retreat to better positions, but now that unit of Club Levy is going to retreat. They might retreat back to the center kind of area over here and then stop wavering, but what that is to be find out as well, because I think that this club levy actually still have ammo, so if they can come back, they'd definitely be very useful to this cause. But we've got some very elite tribal warriors holding here on the left side if you're looking at it from the defending's point of view, and we've got some spear wall as well as tribal warriors and mercenary Iberian swordsmen holding on this right side, preparing for this engagement. And over here, we've got this unit of artillery firing into this unit of Bactrian Hillmen, trying to make sure that they can't charge into them, trying to make sure that they can't take out this artillery, and actually getting some decent kills on them as well. Successfully breaking the Bactrian Hillmen with the support of the arrow tower, so I thought this was really funny to see too. They really didn't want their onager to break against a unit of Hillmen, save their ammo, so that way hopefully they can get some good kills against some more elite units in the near future. It looks like our Verney is actually going to go ahead and send 2 units of Celtic warriors around the side here to be able to engage with this artillery, but with the support of the arrow fire, and if the artillery begins to fire on these guys, it should be able to get some good kills. The artillery, it looks like it's actually trying to get a little cheeky snipe on this Bactrian Royal Cavalry, but the Bactrian Royal Cavalry actually are just going to go ahead and fall back as quickly as possible, so that way they do not get shot by any artillery. Losing your general to artillery would just be tragic at this point, especially with how many troops that Bactria has left. I think Bactria is still relatively healthy on troops. I was like, from a distance, it almost looked like, because all of these flags were so spread out, it looked like Bactria was the weakest, but going back in and zooming out, they just have a lot of plump up troops, still a lot of troops left over. But yeah, the artillery firing into these Celtic warriors, trying to break them, so that way they can't take out the artillery. And with the support, again, with the support of the archer tower, they might just be able to pull it off and survive. The artillery needs to quickly turn, though, unless they're out of ammo already. I don't know, but yep, it looks like this unit, they were able to break one of the units of Celtic warriors, but the other depleted unit of Celtic warriors are going to go ahead and engage with this artillery and take it out, so that way it can no longer rain fire upon their troops as well. One last shot on this poor bastard. Oh my goodness. Poor dude. But yeah, it looks like this artillery is now unable to fire anymore. It has one crew member left, which killed... I think it killed a Celtic warrior. Did this crewman just kill this Celtic warrior? It looks like it. Very impressive. But yeah, he killed a Celtic warrior. Now he's going to try to get the hell out of here, but he is going to be completely surrounded by the Celtic warriors. Oh my goodness! Oh, he was trying so hard to take him out, but he sadly fell to the sword of our Verney. Over here, it looks like Bactria is trying to go ahead and take this gate with their thorax swordsmen, maybe give themselves a little bit of a side area to be able to enter the city from, or just being able to keep those towers from shooting at their men. But wow, my mind completely spaced. Swaby is going to go ahead and send up a unit of Bloodsworn and finish off this unit of Thorax Swordsmen, so that way they can hold the gate, and the gate can continue to rain fire upon their opponents as well. Over here, it looks like it's still a little bit of stalemate. Still looks like the attacking forces are preparing for a great battle. Just being able to count their troops, count their losses, figure out what they have left, and figure out who gets to die. I mean, who gets to get sent in for the glory of our Verney, Bactria, and or the Seleucid first, and shed blood for the gods. But it looks like we've got a unit of Thorax Swordsmen, 10 men left, beginning to break. I believe they are taking a little bit of archer fire here. They are going to go ahead and fall back. These 10 men are like, you know what, guys? Fuck it, let's go to the pub. Let's get out of here. Let's go get a couple of drinks. I think we fought good enough. I think we're done here. I think we're good. But yeah, archers not lighting up, raining fire upon this grouping of Thorax swordsmen, really just trying to get as many kills as they possibly can, and break as many units as they can, so that way their men don't have to fight in melee combat against them. The tower's still shooting at these poor Thorax swordsmen as they run away. I mean, you can just see them beginning to burn from the fire arrows that are shooting into them. This guy's running away with an arrow in his back. I mean, he is hurt. He needs to go and see a medic. He needs to go to the hospital. But he is just getting out of dodge, taking another arrow. He's got 2 arrows inside of him. Was that a third arrow? Yeah, I think a third arrow just hit him as well, but... oh my goodness, this guy is a badass. He's taking so many arrows. Another arrow has been hit him in the back. Wow, and he's still going, dude. At this point, I mean, two of the arrows look like they fell out, maybe bounced out after the other arrows pierced him, but he is a human porcupine at this point. Wow, what a legend. What a legend. And Arverni is slowly beginning to march up as well, taking a little bit of fire from the arrow towers. Hopefully the arrow towers do a little bit of damage at least, get a couple of kills, so that way the Bloodsworn or whoever has to fight these troops don't take as many losses here. Whenever they actually get into melee. I don't know if this is going to be the time where they engage, boys and girls. We've got Thorax Swordsman moving up, preparing to be able to charge into their opponents, but for now, just shouting words from a safe distance, shouting very crude and unfriendly words at their opponent here, letting them know what they're going to do after they take the city from them. So right now they're just kind of taunting each other. We've also got a lot of Thero Spears. I mean, 3 units of Thero Spears and 1 unit of Thorax Swordsman from the Seleucid player moving up, preparing to be able to take the fight to their opponent over here as well. We've got the Spear Wall holding valiantly, but against the might of 3 Theros warriors that have the ability to just rip you apart without even coming face to face to you, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I mean, this is terrible. Imagine whenever they invented the machine gun during World War One. I mean, just the absolute terror that that would have caused troops during that time period. Holy smokes. 3 units of Thero Spears is the equivalent of a World War One machine gun, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it looks like Arverni has moved up 2 units of Chosen Swords, their unit of Oathsworn. They've moved up their Chosen Swords in order to take these towers, so they are no longer firing at them. It looks like they've taken a few losses, so I mean, a few free kills from a free thing that comes with the defense whenever you choose to be a defender in any siege battle is definitely not bad at all. And against a more elite unit of Chosen Swordsmen, a 700 and something gold unit, not bad. Definitely not going to complain on that one. Over here, it looks like we've got some Celtic skirmishers actually moved up a little bit too far. It looks like they decided to go ahead and charge in, but they are going to go ahead and quickly break. They're moving through this unit. Yeah, they're gonna very, very quickly break. They have 103 men left, but they are surrounded by 2 units, or a unit of Thero Spears and a unit of Thorax Swordsmen. So I really hope that these Celtic skirmishers were able to use all of their ammo, but sadly, I do not believe that that is the case. Over on the left side, again, if you're looking at it from the defender's point of view, it looks like, oh, there we go. The battle has really started over here. We got a unit of fairly fresh Chosen Swordsman fighting against the Spear Wall. The Spear Wall not hoping to be able to defeat all of the Chosen Swordsmen, the men in pajamas, but hoping to be able to hold off for as long as possible, so that way the archers up on the hill can get as much damage in as possible as well. We've got the unit of Bloodsworn over here holding valiantly against the Chosen Swords. The attackers have taken this gate, so now the gate will actually fire on the defending forces. They've put up a couple of archers up there to be able to help support them. So the defenders do have to be careful, but yes, these Bloodsworn are going to go ahead and use their battle rhythm ability, or pop a battle rhythm ability from their general, which is somewhere up here, and go ahead and give them a little bit of an advantage in trying to kill or weaken these Chosen Swords. The Oathsworn are going to go ahead and pop their Headhunt ability, a very powerful as well as battle rhythm, and engage with these Bloodsworn. These Bloodsworn are going to get absolutely melted. Oh, yeah, their numbers are just disappearing very, very quickly. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that is brutal to see. Holy smokes, dude. Yeah, the Chosen Swordsmen, they are such a cool unit. Look at this dude. Does this guy have a whole bird on his head? Hold on. Wait a second. This guy's got, like, a bird or something on his head. This guy's got, like, a boar on his head. This guy's got a whole bird on his head. Holy smokes, I didn't even realize how much detail was put onto the helmets of these guys. I mean, if they headbutt somebody, they're just gonna poke someone's eye out with some of these, like, tusks or whatever on these guys. That Oathsworn is incredible detail, guys. I didn't even realize. As many hours as I put in this game, I never even realized that that was a thing. We've got some Thorax Swordsmen engaging, but you see how they have it in a slight, like, column formation. Sometimes if you don't have your units on, like, defensive mode or defensive formation, so the Spear Wall does actually it looks like the spear wall has their unit on defensive formation, but if they don't, then whenever they're engaged with this unit of Thorax Swordsman, they'll actually start to wrap around this unit of Thorax Swordsman, which leaves it very open. So that's why people do this formation sometimes too, but then leaves them very open for Theros Spear fire, so that way Theros Spears can get a lot of flanking fire. In this case, the defenders did a great move and set them on defensive formation, but in other cases you just have to be careful whenever you're holding as a defender, even as an attacker as well, not letting your troops wrap around, especially if there's a Theros Spear or Archer unit nearby, to be able to take advantage of that side or flanking shot, because these spear wall would definitely break very quickly if that was the case. Over here it looks like we've got the Seleucid General coming up to be able to use some of his abilities on these guys. He did use Second Wind on these Thorax Swordsmen to be able to keep them fresh. So it looks like he just came around real quick using some abilities, and now he's going to fall back. But over here on the right side, looking at it from the attacker's point of view, it looks like they are not engaging with this quite yet. They don't want to be. They don't want to have to deal with the tribal warriors quite yet. They're really just kind of focusing here on this left side, and Arverni doing a great job pushing up against these rocks as close as they possibly can. We got Sword Masters from Swaby in the back. We'll see how they do too, but really making it hard for these mercenary Cretan archers to get a really good shot on these guys just because of pathfinding inside of this game too. The mercenary Thracian Peltas with 71 kills thus far, getting shot at by some archers over here on the side, some Gallic hunters. They're definitely going to get some good kills against them, but I'm assuming these guys are out of ammo. I'm assuming they just charged them in to be able to hopefully get some kills and maybe even finish off this unit of Chosen Swordsmen. They're active. They're definitely not tired yet, but they are active. So they... No, I think, yep, there we go. Now they're very tired. Oh, no, these guys are very tired, so that I know that affects their melee and everything as well, so they got to be careful about that. But yeah, great move by them, especially if they're out of ammo. Moving up, engaging with them, making them waste a bunch of ammo on these guys. Really good move, and it looks like we got some archer fire going into these Chosen Swords, just trying to break them because they are a weakened unit. But yep, these Chosen Swordsmen are going to start to break. They are wavering. They're taking a lot of archer fire. We've got Swaby with longbow hunters, and then Cretan archers from Carthage as well. Some really good archer units being able to get a really good shot on these guys as well. And now it looks like they're starting to kind of switch their fire over to the Chosen Swordsmen and start to fire into these guys as well. Looking over onto this side, we've got the Theros Spears. They have charged in. It looks like they took out that original spear wall, unless this is it. But I don't think so. I think the last time I checked, they were below 100 men. So I think this one is a brand new shield, or I'm sorry, spear wall unit. But right now they're allowing the tribal warriors to be able to take the brunt of this attack. We've got a unit of Theros Spears and a unit of Thorax Swordsmen marched in here, just trying to get as many kills as possible and break through this valiant defense. And it looks like we've got a unit of Thorax Swordsmen from Bactria coming in from behind, just here to be able to support their troops and move in if needed. We've got some more Thorax Swordsmen moving up as well as some archers from Bactria too. We've got a lot of archers over on this flank being able to provide support against this engagement, against this attack, so that's always good to see. Give me 1 second, guys. One. All right, guys, we're back, baby. Sorry about that. Had to take care of something real quick. All right, so it looks like, oh my goodness, dude, the defenders are doing a great job against Arverni right now. Every time Arverni tries to get anywhere close with their Chosen Swordsmen, or honestly with any one of their units, they just get absolutely hammered by archers. I mean, such a great position to be able to move your archers there, too. We've got a few archers from Swaby over here firing into the sides of these Thorax Swords, weakening them. Getting a decent amount of kills as well, really just kind of harassing them and keeping them on their toes, trying to get as many kills as possible. We've also got another set of archers over here firing into the flank of the mercenary Samurai Warriors. The mercenary Samurai Warriors are turned around. I'm not quite sure why, considering they should be engaged with this unit of Thorax Swordsmen, but a great unit to focus down with the archers. Now they finally turned around, so the archers hopefully won't get nearly as many kills on these guys as well. But man, for a second there, that was looking a little bit rough. Now we got the mercenary Samurai Warriors coming in, getting ready to be able to stop this charge, moving in to make sure that these Theros Spears cannot make any ground on this within this territory, within this section of the settlement as well. The archers are doing whatever they can to be able to support their troops and try and get as many kills on these Samurai Warriors as possible, which they're doing a great job. As you can see, these Samurai Warriors are falling very, very quickly. We've got 88 men left, and now they're fighting against a fresh unit. Well, we've got a Thero Spear and a Thorax Swordsman unit fighting against them, so we'll see how much longer that they can hold for. Got this mercenary Samurai Warrior still fighting against this unit of Thorax Swordsman. This unit is active. This unit is fresh. So I mean, this unit is about to fall, or at least break. They don't have that many men left, but they are certainly doing their job in holding back this unit of mercenary Samurai Warriors for as long as possible, while they can hopefully push in the rest of their troops. This unit of mercenary Samurai Warriors over here on the front line have taken a lot of losses, but now we've got some returning fire from the mercenary Iberian swordsman. A great angle for them as well, getting a lot of really good side fire and top down fire over on these Thero Spears and these Thorax Swords, able to get a lot of kills. And then we've got some limping infantry as well as another unit of mercenary Iberian Swords close by as well, so hopefully they'll be able to get a decent chunk of kills. Looks like Arverni is kind of falling back for now. They have said fuck this, and they are falling back from this position. It's just causing way too many casualties. They figured they'll, it seems like they're figuring they'll let their allies kind of push into the settlement a little bit more, pull some more troops off from this side, and then they'll kind of move in as quickly as possible. But yep, it looks like we've got another unit that have broken through, a unit of Thorax Swords just getting absolutely pelted by ranged fire from these Iberian swords as well as the Libyan infantry. So they have broken, but Seleucid is sending in a fresh unit of Thorax swordsmen to continue to hold the line and keep their opponents back, keep this gap open so they can continue to move more troops in. We've got a whole bunch of Thero Spears, we've got Thorax swordsmen, we've got a whole bunch of troops moving in and preparing to charge into this gap, but the defenders are not going to allow that to happen. They are continuing to flood in troops. We've got another unit of mercenary Iberian swords as well as a fairly diminished unit of tribal warriors as well, ready to be able to charge in at a moment's notice and get a lot of kills. We've got the Iberian swordsmen trying to fire into the sides and flanks of these Thero Spears. If they can quickly break the Thero Spears, the round shield swordsmen can form up right here and keep any more reinforcements from coming in, so they can just kind of focus down these troops right here in the middle. It looks like this Thero Spear with 31 men left has broken, so it's just going to be this relatively fresh unit of Thorax swordsmen fighting against some Iberian swords, club levy, and mercenary Gallic warriors, but all of which are relatively diminished, have taken a lot of losses and a lot of damage during this battle. We've also got some mercenary Cretan archers going in, firing into the tops and sides of these Thorax swordsmen that are trying to break through over on the other side. The attackers are not lighting up. They are pushing in with everything that they got. They got another relatively fresh unit of Thorax swordsmen moving in, pretty much undisturbed here. We've got this unit of Iberian swordsmen that are close by, about to get charged from these Thorax swordsmen. We've got this unit of mercenary Iberian swordsmen, which were originally fighting against these Thorax swordsmen, kind of moving around, trying to get over here so that way they can stop these Thorax swordsmen from moving in. But it looks like they are kind of starting, they're doing really good at like holding the line and making sure that these troops can't continue to move in. I love that they're not giving up this position and not just completely falling back to this staircase and everything else. They're really using everything that's in their power. We even got some more elite dangerous sword masters charging in against this Thorax swordsman unit as well. These sword masters have been sent into the fray, getting a nice little charge there, and now kind of moving in to be able to support elsewhere as well. But it looks like they have kind of begun to retake this position. We've got a relatively fresh unit of Thorax swordsmen fighting against a unit of Libyan infantry, more elite Libyan infantry, and these round shield swordsmen are still holding the line, still making sure that the attacking opponent cannot push in. Oh my goodness, and then we've got the mercenary Iberian swordsman getting a deadly flanking fire on these Thorax swordsmen, getting a great number of kills. Well done by Carthage, great positioning. But yeah, we've got sword masters and tribal warriors trying to quickly break these Thorax swords so that way they can charge into the flanks of these guys, close this gaping hole and stop them from being able to move in here so they can better focus on this area as well. This unit of Thorax swordsmen that had originally came in are beginning to fall against the might of mercenary Samnite warriors as well as mercenary Thracian Peltas. These unit of mercenary Iberian swordsmen are kind of plugging the gap, taking out these Thorax swordsmen and keeping them from being able to completely continue to push over on this side. We've got Syrian heavy archers doing what they can to be able to support this flank, but it looks like the defenders are going to go ahead and successfully push back the attackers for now, and be able to retake this kind of flanking area as well. We've got even more Thorax Swordsmen preparing to be able to push in, getting into column formation, utilizing this gap that is here right now, trying to get in here. But we've got a unit of Mercenary Iberian Swordsmen quickly moving up to be able to close the gap and stop them from being able to push in. Arverni taking this opportunity while the defenders are completely distracted to be able to move in with a ton of units. Celtic Warriors, Chosen Swordsmen, Levy Freeman, more Celtic Warriors moving in and trying to just use this distraction to be able to move through this little choke point here. I mean, they don't have too much holding them back as of yet. A depleted unit of Mercenary Semnite, a depleted unit of Spear Wall, as well as a depleted unit of Celtic Warriors. There's not too much holding them back, so if they can move through and cause another distraction over on this side, I feel like the attackers are going to be looking very pretty. Looking back over onto this side, again, the defenders have done an amazing job. We got Thracian Warriors holding line against the heavily armored Thorax Swordsmen, a good unit to be able to pair up against them. They're good at tearing up armor. They have a really good charge bonus, but you want to continue to cycle charge them. So like, you know, as soon as they charge in, get a few kills, charge them back out, charge these guys back in, and just keep on cycle charging, especially if they're not taking any archer fire, because all of their power is in their charge, and if you don't charge them, then they're not going to get nearly as many kills as they would otherwise. These Thracian Peltas in here with 116 kills, just trying to support their Thracian Warriors, Thracian Warrior brothers in arms, and just trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. Looking back over at Arverni, Arverni is starting to break with some of their more weaker troops. We've got a lot of archer fire coming in. I mean, just so many archers here. We've got, do these guys still have ammo? Yep, these guys still have ammo with 103 kills. It looks like these archers still have some ammo as well. They're kind of moving over towards the middle to be able to help support. But yeah, there's just so much archer fire going into these blobs of troops. But Arverni just has to keep on pushing forward, has to keep on doing whatever they can to be able to move, push through this kind of choke point here and make room. So that way the defenders are forced to send more troops that way and give Bactria and Seleucid a better chance of being able to move through this checkpoint. The round shield swordsmen that have been holding so valiantly for so long are now beginning to break against the might of the Thorax swordsmen. There are just so many Thorax swordsmen in this battle, which is unsurprising. I mean, Thorax swordsmen are a little over 700 gold, but they are the main melee unit used within this battle. They have broken through one unit, but we've got another unit of mercenary Iberian swordsmen quickly moving up to be able to plug the gap and not allow any more troops to be able to kind of go into column formation and move through this gap and engage with their opponents. We've still got ammo from these mercenary Syrian archers. These guys are at ammo. These guys still have ammo. I mean, it looks like these guys actually haven't seen too much in the way of combat, so these guys do still have ammo. What about the Gallic Hunters? The Gallic Hunters still have ammo as well, so the attackers are looking good with their ammo. They're still able to get some great fire on these defending forces and continue to weaken them, so that way their forces might be able to kind of move up, break through this location, and cause some more havoc within the central point. Over here, we still got that unit of Thorax Swordsmen fighting against Thracian Warriors, Tribal Warriors, and Mercenary Thracian Peltas, all of which are weakened. The Thorax Swordsmen have 125 kills so far, and is just going to continue to climb too. We do have some archers supporting fire into some of these more lightly armored troops, so they're really just trying to utilize everything in their power to be able to move through this choke point. They need to cause havoc. They need to start moving through even more. They've got even more troops coming in, a fresh unit of, or relatively fresh unit of Libyan infantry beginning to move up to be able to help support on this side against their Carthaginian, or I'm sorry, against their Arverni enemies. Arverni has taken a lot of losses over here, but they do still have chosen swordsmen, Celtic warriors, Oathsworn, and archers as well as some Levy Freemen. So they do have some troops over here, and they are prepared to be able to engage with the enemy forces. The Libyan infantry utilizing their ranged capabilities from the back to be able to support their troops as well. Arverni is going to go ahead and take a break from this attack as well. Let Bactrian, let Seleucid begin to start making ground on against these defending troops as well. Yet again, we've got this unit of sword masters with 0 kills, fresh unit of sword masters. We've got another unit of sword masters that still have more than half of their units remaining active with 135 kills, ready to engage, ready to move in at a moment's notice and to be able to support their allies against this Bactrian attack. Bactria really is just kind of setting everything at this point. There's just one depleted unit of Libyan infantry fighting against them at this point. Sorry, my brain had a complete brain fart there. Just one unit of depleted Libyan infantry, keeping them back from glory, keeping them back from that central point, and keeping them back from victory. So they're really just trying to move in with everything that they can and make room so that way they can fully just envelop the troops that are defending over here. We've got units of longbow hunters over here as well. I'm assuming that they're out of ammo here. Yep, it looks like the longbow hunters are out of ammo, so they're going to go ahead and send them up and use them as more bodies for the machine, more bodies to be able to plug any gaps. And over here, Bactria has broken through. Bactria moving in with their Thera Spears. We've got another unit of Thorax Swordsmen. We've got Seleucid coming in with their Agama Cavalry as well, quickly charging in to be able to engage with the defending forces. The Agama Cavalry are going to go ahead and actually fall back, seeing that the defenders have cavalry and a lot of different troops trying to move in and engage with them. So they're going to go ahead and get out of there and prepare to fight another day. These depleted Thorax Swordsmen moving in, fighting against these mercenary Simonite warriors, which I believe have been fighting for a long time, still somehow holding the line against such reckless hate. They are so bloody. They have seen so much death, both on their own side and on the opponent's side. But they should be able to, break these guys pretty quickly here, especially with the support of the Swordmasters firing into their back. We've got a unit of depleted mercenary Iberian swordsmen moving up to be able to plug this gap yet again, charging into these Thera Spears, keeping them from being able to fire if they still have any ammo. But yeah, really just moving up to plug this gap, which is a great move because it looks like they were preparing to charge both of their generals in, which it looks like they're still going to go. This looks like maybe this general is going to go ahead and get their cavalry through. If they can get through the block of troops, if they can get through them, they might be able to get some great damage off on these guys as well. Looking over on the other side, we've got some archers, mercenary Cretan archers, as well as the depleted swordmasters and some depleted, very depleted Thracian peltasts trying to hold the line and keep them from being able to move in. Great job from the Seleucids getting some great side and top-down fire on these swordmasters, trying to keep them from being able to do too much damage and just getting a lot of kills on them. That's the issue with swordmasters. They're really good, but it's just like with any other unit. If they fall, from ranged fire, then it's gonna be a tough time. We've got the mercenary Balearic slingers. I always call them the mercenary Balsac and the slingers. The mercenary Balearic slingers just firing into the middle zone, trying to support their troops. I mean, we've got Bactria really moving in with everything that they have, depleted or units of Syrian archers that are out of ammo but with a ton of kills. Thorax swordsmen fighting against, right now, really just fighting against these ranged troops, trying to move through so that way they can get into the settlement and really just wreak havoc on it. The defenders are running out of troops. We got a lot of depleted troops here, but nothing like substantial. We've still got a fresh unit of swordmasters holding on the other side, but for how long? I mean, we've got even more reinforcements coming over from Bactria too to be able to help with this push. I mean, looking over at both sides are still, it's still anyone's game. I mean, this game is absolutely insane. We've still got a lot of troops from Bactria, a decent amount of troops from Bactria. It looks like Seleucid's pretty much almost out of troops. But yeah, it looks like Bactria still has a decent amount of troops, and Arverni still has some great units. Chosen Swordsmen, Oathsworn, Celtic Warriors, they still have a good number of units ready to be able to engage with the defending forces, and it looks like they are beginning to prepare to. It looks like, because they can see that their allies are starting to break through this area, so the defenders have no choice but to continue to send troops over that way. So if they start pushing in on this side, then they can continue to spread out the defenders as much as possible and potentially give their allies the opportunity to get the push that they need, and really get a lot of kills on these troops as well. These Thera Spears with 16 kills, it looks like they still have some ammo left. It looks like they're about to target them and try to get as many kills on these Swordmasters as they can. You can see them beginning to drop like flies. Fries into a frying pan, baby. Fries into a frying pan. And then we got the Agamus Cavalry coming back around to be able to support in this endeavor. We got Swordmasters with 33 men left. They are completely exhausted. 32 men left, 215 kills. And we got unit of mercenary Cretan archers completely out of ammo with 204 kills, moving into the fray, just continuously moving in as many like depleted units or units that are out of ammo as they possibly can to be able to continue to hold the line. But right now it looks like this left-hand side or right-hand side for the defenders is going to be the best bet for the attackers to break through, because they are just barely holding on with just a bunch of ranged troops. We even have Carthage beginning to send down their general to be able to help support these troops, to be able to use their abilities, Second Wind. Yep, there we go. Battle Rhythm, Second Wind, anything that they have to be able to just try and increase the damage output that their troops have. These Libyan infantry with 36 men left, 206 kills, doing a great job of just chopping down any troops that get in their way. Longbow hunters beginning to break from these Swaby. We've got the Swordmasters beginning to break with 222 kills, 24 men left as well. Everybody just doing everything in their power to break through, but the defenders just will not give up. Our Vernie beginning to engage over on this side as well. Let's go ahead and get like a through the jail bar view on these guys. But yeah, we've got Chosen Swordsman with 93 men left. We've got a Mercenary Iberian Sword as well as a Mercenary Samnite Warrior unit, which I'm surprised there's still one left, engaged with these troops, just trying to hold them back, trying to get as much damage as possible, fighting against all odds to hold them. Right now, I think it's going to be really, the time is going to be crucial for both sides right here. This battle has been going on for a long time, so depending on how much longer it goes, the defenders could potentially win by time. So the attackers really need to start making some more progress, which they are trying to do. They're breaking troop after troop after troop over on this side, and it really looks like the defenders are running out of troops to be able to plug up those gaps. They still have some range stuff and some very depleted units, as well as their Swordmaster General from Swaby, but other than that, like, the defenders are really they just have to be able to break through whatever's left of all of the troops in here, so that way they can move into the settlement and take victory on this day. We've even got archer fire going into these longbow hunters. These longbow hunters still have ammo with 161 kills. I can't imagine they have much more ammo though. But yeah, the archer fire is going to go in and completely melt these guys, especially from these Syrian heavy archers. They are a very, very powerful archer unit. But yeah, we've got even more thorax swordsmen moving in. They're really not letting up on any pressure. These swordmasters have 213 kills, the 35 men left. They have the Kimbri bowwomen holding, but that is it. They have this archer unit nearby, which they could potentially charge in and hold this line, but they are beginning to break just from the sheer firepower of the attacking forces going in and breaking these units. Over on the right side, they're beginning to break as well. Just a unit of 80 mercenary Cretan archers holding back the horde of enemies that are trying to break through, doing whatever is in their power to be able to break through and get to that victory point. I mean, this has just been an absolute slugfest, a back and forth. Our Vernie breaking through this, utilizing the gap between the very depleted unit mercenary Samnite warriors and chosen swordsmen. They're using the gap to be able to quickly move in and engage with this tireless noble horse before they can get any charges or anything off. Carthage is going to go ahead and send over their Cretan archers that are out of ammo to be able to try and support their general in this endeavor. They just have to hold them back. If they can fight them until the end of the timer of this battle, then they could potentially take the victory. But will it be enough? Tylus's general is going to go ahead and start to fall back while the archers do whatever they can to be able to get some kills on these guys. The Oathsworn getting peppered by mercenary Balearic slingers, but the slingers are going to go ahead and get engaged with the Oathsworn here. Tylus needs to go ahead and charge in this depleted unit of Celtic warriors, but I think he's more focused on trying to get his general out of dodge here. We've got another unit of depleted tribal warriors in here as well. We've got Bactria. Bactria needs to move up. They've broken through. Bactria and the Seleucids, they got to move up. They got to move up with everything and take on these troops. They got to beat that timer. I mean, they still got some troops left. We've still got a unit of Livian infantry, as well as this unit of swordmasters fighting against the Oathsworn of Arverni. The swordmasters have popped their abilities, headhunt and battle rhythm, to be able to engage with these Oathsworn. But will it be enough? They've popped second wind, so that way headhunt doesn't completely tire them out. But the battle between Swordmasters and Oathsworn as well, because we do have some archer fire going into this Swordmaster general as well. But we do have breakage over here on this wall. We've got Libyan infantry going in from Carthage, just trying to hold and make sure that they can't get in the circle to hold off as long as they possibly can. But I don't know, guys. This is looking really rough from the defenders. The attackers have completely broken through. We've got a game of cavalry charging right into Tylus's general. I'm really surprised that they haven't taken army losses yet. I mean, this is insane. I have no idea how the defenders are still holding, but they are. The Libyan infantry here. Balearic slingers still having ammo, just trying to fire at anything that moves, just trying to keep back as many opponents as they possibly can. The Agama cavalry really just trying to take out this noble horse. If they can break the Tylus general, then maybe that'll start causing army losses. I don't know, but we also have the general's bodyguard from Carthage charging in to the Bactrian Royal Cavalry, as well as the Agama Cavalry. It's a battle of generals and troops now. It's really a huge slugfest. These swordmasters are doing whatever they can to be able to hold this line, but will it be enough? We've got swordmasters, Oathsworn, we've got Theros spears, thorax swords, mercenary Syrian archers, cav, everything in the books right now, just fighting. We've got Carthaginian general having fallen back, not being able to fight against two generals, leaving Tylus on his own to be able to hopefully take out the opponent's generals before he falls. The opponent's general having 225 kills, which is insane. Bactrian Royal Cav with having 111 kills, about to fall though with 16 men left. Looks like the Balearic Slingers are kind of focusing down the Cav, trying to break them as quickly as possible. The Noble Horse are going to try to retreat out of the grasp of the Agamus cavalry, leading them away, trying to give the rest of their troops the chance to be able to continue to hold against such reckless hate. The Swordmasters with 100 men left, still holding valiantly against so many troops, as well as the Libyan infantry with 84 troops, or 84 men left as well. We've got the Carthaginian general coming out, trying to support Tylus's general with 18 men left. Again, the Agama cavalry are going to go ahead and charge into this Carthaginian general, and much like the Roman generals in Rome 2 Total War, he is not meant for this type of combat, and he is going to get slaughtered, especially by the more elite cavalry. But the more elite cavalry is also starting to get tired as well, so it's a hit or miss. Libyan infantry beginning to waver with 110 men left. We still got the Swordmaster still holding the line. We got the mercenary Balearic Slingers trying to keep their opponents from being able to flank around. These guys are really trying to do whatever is in their power to be able to stop them from being able to flank around and break their troops. I mean, this Libyan infantry is beginning to break with 129 kills. The Swordmasters are beginning to break from army losses. We've got General's Bodyguard from Carthage beginning to break as well. We've got 37 seconds left on the clock. We've got what seems like everything still broken. But where's Tylus's general? Where did Tylus's general go? Is he still alive? Guys, Tylus's general is still alive, and he's hiding back here in this courtyard. He's hiding from their opponents. They thought that they completely took him out, but he is still hiding. And so as long as he's still alive, as long as he doesn't waver, the defenders are going to go ahead and take this battle. 3 seconds left. 1-0. And the defenders take the battle, guys. That was absolutely insane. I mean, the attackers basically cleared out the defenders, but they ran out of time. So the defenders take the battle literally by the skin of their horse. Wow, guys, let's go ahead and look at the kills here. That was absolutely insane. Such a good battle. Thank you again so much, Darkspawn, for sending in this replay. We've got our Vernie be the MVP of this game with 3,080 kills, and then Spyro, I think that's how you pronounce your name, coming in second with 2,497 kills. Looking at both of these players, Boss Prophet with 3,080 kills, doing a great job overall. Osworn with 272, 190, 160, 166, 238, 141, 180, 151, 146, 111, 192, 186, 188, and 314 kills. Carthage getting, so, oh my god, just the kills on the archers in general in this game were insane. 231, 173, 226, 179, 143, 109, 132, 118, 148, 119, 157, 134, 228. We got Coors, Pisswater, Coors Light, having 290, 8 kills with his general, which is insane. 127, 156, 153, 152, 143, 226, which is insane. 208 on Thorough Spears, 155, 158, 163, and then Darkspawn, 128, 162, 145, 163, 107, 176, 158, 245, and 226. Swords Masters doing what Swords Masters do best, and that is slaughtering. Rambo Tom, 2,539 kills. Actually, he was in second place. I'm sorry. I completely missed that. So Tom being in second place as far as most kills, 201, 228, 149, 113, 380 on the Thorax Swords. Insane. 184, 216, 136, 173, 110, 101, 116, 132, and last but certainly not least, we've got Tylus, 130, 103, and that's about it as far as his army goes. Guys, again, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you sexy ass motherfuckers in the next one. Peace.